Hello, welcome to Edo Language Institute. I am your host and teacher, Steffi Wifo, and I hope you enjoy this short lecture today. So, I wanted to quickly drop by to break down these two Edo unisex names and also use it to explain or to touch on the silent Edo consonants R and H. Yeah, I put silent in quotes here because H is not really that silent, but it depends on the speaker. For some people, they pronounce that more emphasized with the strong and others don't. Okay. So, and also on that note, a single R, if you're new here, a single R in Edo language before a vowel is always silent, like you have in AO, yeah, which is I. But for you to pronounce the R sound, you have to double the consonant. So you have to double the R, like as you have in Re, Ire, or Re no de. He or she came yesterday. Or you add an H, like we have here in a room that we're just breaking down. So Osahe Rume, the breakdown is Osa, Osanobua, which means God. Hon is a verb, which means to hear. And Erun is prayer. Ne, my, or mine, depending on the context. So the word is Osaherume, God heard my prayers. And you might wonder, why is it heard and not hears or is hearing? Because of this pitch here, right? Osaherume, listen to the present one. Osaherume, that will be present. Osaherume, God heard my prayer. Yeah. Now, let's break down Osaherume. This is, you see, the only difference here is the R-A-N, which means to know. So, Osaherume, God knows my prayers. And it's not past, it's just, it's God knows my prayers. Yeah. So, and here again, this is how the words, the when you put it, this is a full sentence, actually. Osaherume, right? So, and now here's what happens. The A at the beginning, this vowel at the beginning of Erun goes and replace the O in hon, yeah, in the verb hon. And in this particular case as well, especially in the pronunciation, this HU is dropped. One of the HU is dropped. So because normally it is Erun. But later in the name, we're pronouncing Osaherun, Herun, yeah, Osaherun, to make it shorter, right? Osaherun, okay? So, however, in the other word, for God knows my prayer, Osaherun, the A does not go replace the E, okay? So I want you, this is a special case, a special exception just for this particular case, right? Normally, E can be replaced. E can also be be dropped, in the rule of contraction. In the next slide, I will explain that, vowel elision, also what I refer to as rule of contraction on this channel. So just just for you to remember this, in German you would say Eselsbrücke. I don't even know what it's called, Eselsbrücke in English. So, but something for you to remember this is just say that, okay, the in to know, yeah, which, alluding to knowledge, is so confident that it does not move for anybody. Okay, it does not move for any other vowel to come and replace it. Okay, so we have osaerume. Yeah. So now next slide. So you see here, this vowel elision that I was talking about, when we look at Edo verbs, 80% of them end with a vowel. When we have 7, A, E, I, O, U. And around 20%, yeah, this is not something that was calculated and, but it's roughly like this because the majority ends with a vowel and the rest ends with N. And to make pronunciation easier, we have here be is a verb that means to wash or to clean. Be, akon teeth becomes bakon. The vowel at the end of the first word falls off. Jo, ewu becomes jewu, to wear shirt. Ewu is shirt or clothes, right? It's actually shirt. Mu egbe, however, does not change. It is muegbe, muegbe, which is to get ready or get dressed. Siesiga also does not contract because u, the vowel u and the vowel e do not contract. Okay? And now we look at the remaining 20% of verbs that ends with n. For instance, mo, not wo. You see the W sound, I put a tilde on top. It's the one sound, right? Mo, which is to drink. Mo, ame, to drink water. It becomes wame in the pronunciation. You don't necessarily have to write it like that, but you should know, my students, in our tests, once when we have covered this topic in class, this is a topic, is a question that I usually bring on a test. I set questions like this that they recognize it and know how to pronounce it, and also know how the pronunciation will look like. Right? So won ame will becomes to drink water. Same thing, hon eme, hear word, is becomes heme. So if your dad says, Obukhana heme yeye varagu egon, heme nata, heme varagu egon, it means you don't listen when one is talking to you or advising you, But then heme can also mean to understand in a different context. For instance, you're in class, you say, Imaeme nuta say, I didn't hear what you said well. So I didn't understand you very well, right? However, we have exception here as well when a word ends with n. So we have 18, for instance, 18, which is not even a verb, right? It's a noun. And 18, strength, power, and then osa, God, right? Coming from osanobua. Etiosa. You guys know at least one person that is called Etiosa. So I told you earlier up here, you saw that E does not contract. It does not move for anybody. Same way the E, right? The E in 18 will not move for the O in Osa to come and replace it. Just the way the E did not fall off for the A in Esiga, right? So it was Siesiga. Same way here, we wouldn't do Etiosa because the N will still have to remain anyway. So we have Etiosa, God's power, God's strength. Okay? So that is where this phenomenon comes from. The one on top in Osaenrume, God heard my prayer, right? It's comparable to what happened in Mwame. Okay? So lastly, I just want to make this call. If you want to learn Edo language, you still have the chance to join my one of my online beginners classes. It's starting on the 15th of March. If you follow the link here, follow the link in my bio on Instagram, in the description box in YouTube, in the comment section on Facebook. So under this video, if you're watching it on Facebook, and enroll for one of these classes, right? So all the information that I provide here are also on that page. You'll find them before signing up, right? And then also the next steps to expect. They're all there, in order to not take this lecture too long, or to not make this lecture too long. I promise you would love it, you enjoy it, and it will be beneficial to you. So go ahead and do that, because once the class starts, I can't take in new students. Once we start, because we start as a group, we start together, and each week we are covering a new topic. So you won't be able to come in to join, because you will be missing the knowledge that we have, the things we have learned in the first few sessions, right? So go ahead and do that. And if you have questions, reach out to me via email or through any of my social media handles, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this class. And if you're watching this on YouTube and you're not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Subscribe. If you're watching this on Instagram, follow this account for more valuable lectures, useful lectures, useful learning materials in general. So you take care, and thank you again for joining me.